All right, hello everyone. Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Let me know who's here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Hello, Tim. Hello, Poppy. Oh, I love that name. I love that name, Poppy. So today we are going to be talking about how to stay in the eye of the storm. That cliche phrase. We're going to use it. We're going to play with it. We're going to talk about it. And this subject is kind of the subject of what I've been experiencing the past couple of days. So I'm really excited to just dive deep into it, to dive deep into the eye of the storm and how to navigate and how to stay centered in the eye when everything is storming around us, when everything is kind of hurricaning and tornadoing and exploding around us. So thank you for being here today. If this is your first time here, so any first timers, my name is Jenna Rose Ginetti, and I am a mindfulness and meditation teacher, as well as a love coach and a spiritual coach, helping people to ascend, helping people to awaken, and most importantly, helping people to heal and navigate their lives. Lives can be so hectic and sometimes stormy, on a collective level, on a personal level. And so today we're going to navigate this. I am traveling at the moment. I am here in Michigan, where I'm from. Usually I live in Sedona, Arizona. So if this is your first time, you did not come here by mistake. You were meant to be here. You were guided here. I know that, and I'm just so happy to have you. So we're going to wait a couple more minutes for some more people to join. But if you can just drop in the chat, what are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? I want to see my chat lit up with so much gratitude. And I love participation. I only have 3 rules during my lives. The first one is love. Be in love with everyone here. Be accepting and loving with everyone that's here. The second one is to treat this like a community, treat this like a family, bring oneness to my life today. And third, participate, talk to me. I love talking, I can talk up a storm, but it's a lot better if I have someone to talk to. So please feel free to communicate with me and just put in the chat, what are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for? Hello, Anu. Hello, Anastasia. What beautiful family you have. Hello again, Poppy. Hello again, Tim. If I can't see your picture in the bottom, I say hello too. But I can only say hello to the pictures at the bottom. What are you grateful for today? So I am grateful for my family, first and foremost. I am visiting Michigan to visit family. My best friend's wedding was yesterday. So you can kind of see the aftermath of my makeup still on. My hair was still semi-intact from the night. And I'm just grateful for celebration. That's what I'm really feeling grateful for. Last night at my best friend's wedding, it was kind of like a high school reunion. There was no bitter. I don't want to say bittersweet, but it was just, it's interesting when you go back to a certain time frame, how just the frequency and the vibration of that time kind of echoes back. Let me know if you understand. So I'm grateful for that. Let me know in the chat, what are you grateful for? Please do not be a stranger. Alright guys, so we are just over 5 minutes in. We are 6 minutes in. Please make sure to comment below. But I'm going to just start the live now. And I always start my lives by having us gather together in community, gather together in connection and love and unity and celebration for the oneness that we all are. So I'm going to ask you for just for a moment to just close your eyes as we begin opening circle, as we begin opening ceremony. So just close down your eyes. And as you close down your eyes, just start to notice how truly amazing it feels to just shut off your perception of this reality. Notice that with your eyes closed, there's nothing to see. There's nothing to view. Allowing you to go deeper within yourself. Going deeper within your own sense of your I am. With your eyes still closed, just notice how you are the viewer, the creator, the actor, and the writer of your reality. And with your eyes closed and your thoughts still, notice how at this moment, with your eyes closed, there's no projection of the story that you are writing that is happening. There is simply your own internal you only. So with this knowing, choose now to take a deep breath into this knowing, holding this knowing at the top, and sighing it all out. And just let it all go now. And breathing in to this sense of I am. Holding the sense of I am at the top. And then just breathing it out. Letting it all go. Bring yourself into deeper connection with that who you really are. And breathe out. And allow a beautiful warm light to just fill your own body. Always filling yourself up first. And allowing this light to start to rain from the crown of your head and go all the way down to the tips of your toes, falling into the earth below you. See yourself completely lit up, completely in peace, completely in love and unity and celebration. And taking another deep inhale in through the chest and out through the chest. Start to just see in your third eye, your pineal gland. Everybody that is gathered here today in Insight Timer, everybody that will watch this later on YouTube, see us all gathered together in a circle. See us all gathered in community, in celebration for the souls that we are, and in celebration for the humans that we are. And breathe into this community and just start to grab hands and imagine yourself grabbing hands with everybody that's here right now. Opening and expanding the circle with the intention of love, with the intention of calmness, with the intention of community. And taking another deep breath in, breathing in your own light. And with your exhale, breathing the light out to everyone to the left of you. Breathing everything out to the left. Anchoring in the light from your body out to everybody in the circle. Lighting them up with your own light. as if you are a candle flame, passing your light to other candle flames. And taking another deep breath in and breathing this light out to everyone to the right of you, filling up the whole circle of light, activating love, activating higher states of consciousness, and fill up this whole circle with light. And at the center of this circle that we have created together, notice that at the center of the circle is a light, is the brightest light. Notice that bright light at the center. And intend for today, for our time together, and for the rest of today, the rest of the week, whenever you are in the midst of the storm, to be that center light, to be that calming point. And breathe in and breathe out. And just take 2 more deep breaths in and then open up your eyes and coming back into the space with all of us. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. And opening up your eyes. Welcome. All right, everyone. So it looks like we're going to have a small and intimate group today. Hello, trajectory. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. So let me know in the comments, what does it mean for you to be at the eye of the storm? What does it mean for you to be in the eye of the storm? Let me know in the comments. What does it mean for you to be in the eye of the storm? Hello, Jeannie. Hello, Leanne. Hello, Leanne. The eye of the storm. What does it mean to be at the eye of the storm? Chaotic. So the way that, and maybe this is a different in the perception, but my view of the eye of the storm is the calmness of the storm that surrounds us. That the center from, and maybe I'm wrong, please feel free to disagree, but my understanding of the eye of the storm was that it's the small zone of calm in the midst of chaos, in the midst of the rains and the battering destruction. The eye of the storm is the calmest point. People caught in the eye of the storm, they need to continue to be in that calm mode because everything around you is spiraling. And the reason I picked this topic today is because very often when I come home to Michigan, I'm in Michigan, I love coming home. I love coming home to my family. There's no one I adore in this world more than my family. But there's a constant storm. There's a constant emotional storm that is spiraling every time I come home. And I have to constantly keep myself at bay. So today I want to talk about that. I want to talk about some very, some things that we can do when the storm and the chaos is happening around us, whether this is, out in the external world or with your family or whatever it is. So just out of curiosity, what do you guys do to keep yourself calm, to keep yourself centered when everything around you is stormy, when there's a hurricane happening around you, when there's a tornado happening around you, when lightning is striking and you're dodging to just stay protected. How do you protect yourself? How do you stay calm? How do you stay calm? What are your practices? What are your practices? Hello, John. Breathe. Yeah, breath. Absolutely, breath. What else? So whenever we're in the eye of the storm, pray. Yeah, absolutely. Yoga, yes. Absolutely. Moving our body, getting back into our body, allowing our bodies to lead us. Because so often, when everything around us is happening, we are imperfect creatures. We are imperfect creatures. And we have to first and foremost remind ourselves that what's going on around us, what's going on with the people around us, as much as we may love and we may care about them, it's not our battle. It's not our storm. It's not our tornado. It's not our hurricane. We are just in the midst of it. And I want to give you an example. So can I be vulnerable and honest and raw and transparent with you guys? Can I express what I've been experiencing since I've been home? Okay, good. So I came home to Michigan. And I love my family. But my family is the type of people, and this is everyone. Everyone is blaming everyone else, and no one is looking inside. No one is looking. This is my perception. This is just my perception. Everybody is looking outside of them at what everyone else is doing wrong instead of just taking a moment to say, how am I contributing to the storm right now? What fuel am I adding? What wind am I adding? What rain am I adding to the storm right now? What fire am I adding to this storm right now? And it's been honestly fascinating. It's been fascinating to come back and watch this storm happening around me, staying in this eye of the storm and seeing how this storm got started. And I'll give you an example. So yesterday I went over to my grandparents' house, and my sister is living there, and my uncle is living there, and my grandparents are living there, and my niece is there, and it's just like this big, huge family reunion at my grandparents' house right now. A lot chaotic, a lot story, and I walk in, and just everybody is just like stuck in those stories. They're stuck in their pain. They're stuck in their sorrows. Everyone's crying. Everyone's frustrated. And I'm just here. I'm just in a calm state, observing. And I noticed how everybody was blaming everybody else, but no one was really looking within them of what was going on. And so everyone was just adding fuel to the fire. And so one example of this is I was showing my grandma pictures on my phone. And I got to this picture of me with a friend of mine, who I find to be a very good-looking gentleman. And just a friend though. And my grandma goes, ew, like who's that? He's ugly. He's unattractive. And me, I just said, okay, like that's your opinion. And my sister screams in the background and says, you're so rude. You're so disrespectful. Why do you say that? And then my uncle chimes in. And then my uncle starts tuning in. Everyone's just adding. And I'm here. And I'm, observing. And then I'm noticing what's happening around me. But I'm allowing the storm to pass. And I said to my sister yesterday, I said, Megan, when there's a fire happening, don't add fuel. Don't add fuel. My grandma in this example was the fire. She's trying to burn, and my sister is throwing fuel at her fire, adding the fire to explode even more. And if you just let the fire burn, if you allow the natural elements to do what the natural elements are going to do, eventually the fire will burn out, right? If it's raining, the rain is going to rain. You can't stop the rain from raining. You can't stop the sun from shining. You can't stop the fire from flaming. You can't stop the hurricane. You can't stop the tornado. You can't stop the, whatever is happening. You have to wait and let the elements do what the elements are going to do. And to get out of the way and protect yourself the best that you can. Does that make sense? Is everything making sense so far before I continue? I just want to do a check-in. How are you feeling about what I'm throwing out right now? Yes. Good. Beautiful. Beautiful. So when we are in the midst of storms and tornadoes, the very first thing is I call those a 4-step process. So the fourth, and this is also a great way to communicate. This is a great way to communicate nonviolently, to communicate calmly, effectively, honestly, authentically, without causing more storms to continue. So the first step is observing. Really just observing, taking a step back. And this is hard to do sometimes, when you're in that heat of the moment. It's hard to do that, but the more you practice these steps, if you have a piece of paper and a pen, feel free to write this down. This is the point where I would ask you guys to write things down. But the more you practice this, the more this becomes your natural state. And then it makes sense. So first step is observing. Observing what's happening. So my example yesterday, I walk in, my grandparents' house is a mess. My grandma was always a perfectionist. She was a perfectionist. There was never a crumb on the floor. Everything was neat and tidy. And with the storm that's happening, the home is no longer like that. So without reacting, without blaming, without shame, without making wrong, I walked in and I observed the situation. My sister was running around like her own little storm. My grandparents were huffing and puffing. My uncle was all in his emotions, crying and woeing himself. I observed the situation. I didn't get involved. I just observed. At this point, you just observe, okay? You see what's happening. And a great way, whenever there's a lot of storms, that I always tell my clients, is to imagine yourself, and I did this before I walked in the house. I imagined myself in a bubble, like a little bubble of protection. And I surrounded myself, and depending on what's going on around you, you can surround yourself with any color. But I always surround myself with either like a crystalline white light or a purple light. Purple is the highest frequency, and the white light is the purest frequency. So surrounding yourself before you go into any stressful situation with complete white light in a bubble, so that you are in this bubble and that people can't come into your bubble, but you can still be surrounded by those that you love. So protecting yourself first, like a seatbelt. So observing the situation. Step 2 is asking yourself, how do I feel? How do I feel in this situation? What are my feelings? Because I can't change your feelings. I can't change what's going on with you, but I can change myself. So how do I feel? Am I angry? Am I sad? Am I happy? Am I excited? Am I joyful? Am I furious? What do I feel in this situation? How do I feel? And so going back to my example of yesterday, I was actually feeling pretty calm. I had worked all day. But I was feeling a little bit of, I have to get ready for my wedding. My best friend got married yesterday. And I went over to my grandparents to pick my sister up, to then go pick up my niece from school. So I was feeling like, okay, well, I need to rush this along a little bit, right? I was feeling calm. Um, so I checked in with my feelings. So what are your feelings in this situation? Okay. The third step is, what is your need? What is your need? What do you need in this situation to feel better? What do you need in this situation for your peace? What do you need in this situation for everything in your reality to be how you need it to be, for your greatest evolution and expansion? What do you need? And checking in with yourself. So, first step, observing what's happening. 2, checking in with your feelings on the subject. The third is recognizing what you need and knowing that your needs are good and your needs are pure. And we all have needs in this world, and that our needs should not be dismissed, okay? And the fourth step is request. Making a request based off of your observations, based off of your feelings, based off of your needs, while still being sensitive to those around you. So mine looked like this yesterday. I said to my sister, I was trying to get my sister out the door before this. My uncle was talking to me. And I said, Megan, I see there's a lot going on right now. My observation, I see there's a lot going on right now. I see that there's a lot of tension right now. And I feel rushed to leave because I need to get to Samantha's wedding. So I observed, Megan, my sister's name's Megan. Megan, I see there's a lot going on right now. I expressed my feelings. I'm feeling rushed. And rushed isn't really a feeling, but like I felt like we need to rush a little bit because my need is to get to my best friend Samantha's wedding. So I observed. I checked in with my feelings. I expressed my needs that I need to get to my best friend's wedding. And then I made the request of, can we leave? Can we leave so I can do that? And when we come at things in this way, of coming at it from, this is what I'm looking at. I'm not shaming, I'm not blaming, I'm not making the situation wrong, but I'm observing that there's a lot going on right now. I'm observing that everyone's stressed, okay? And then you're coming in with your feeling of, this is how I feel, but making sure not to blame anybody else for how you feel. Because no one can make us feel any way. We choose. Our feelings are solely 100% our responsibility. No matter what someone does. No matter what someone does to us. Even the worst of the worst. We are in control of our feelings. No matter what actions are happening around us. When my grandma told me that my friend was unattractive, I could have been mad, right? I could have been frustrated. My sister took on and my grandma's words and said to my grandma, whatever she said of, you're making me upset. You're making me mad. My grandma can't make my sister mad. My grandma can't make my sister upset. My grandma can only do what she can do. And my sister can only choose to feel how she felt. A better approach is that my sister could have said to my grandma is, Grandma, I feel uncomfortable with the words that you're using. I feel uncomfortable. Meaning I am taking responsibility for how I feel. Not blaming, no using you statements. You did me wrong. You hurt me. You made me mad. Taking out the you. Don't blame. And if you guys are in relationships, this is In my perspective, in my belief, this is the number one thing that goes wrong in relationships, is that everyone's blaming, shaming, making others feel wrong instead of taking responsibility for how they feel. It's about being open and vulnerable and opening up your kimono, getting naked with someone and saying, I am hurt. I have a boo boo. I have a wound right now. This is my wound. And I'm hurting, but I'm not going to shame you. I'm not going to blame you. I'm not going to make wrong. But this is how I feel. Right? It's me in my example yesterday of opening up my kimono and saying, hey, I'm feeling rushed right now. I have to get to my friend's wedding. This is how I feel. It's me being vulnerable. But so often we are so scared to be vulnerable and be naked and be open and be intimate with the world around us. And so we end up shaming and blaming and making others feel wrong, because it's easier to blame others for how we feel than to take responsibility for our own feelings. But taking responsibility for our own feelings is the only way that we will ascend and awaken to higher states of consciousness. Are you following me? Yes. Let me know if you're following me. I go on my tangents. And then, again, expressing our need and saying, okay, I have a need. I have a need to get to my best friend's wedding. It is my best friend from childhood's wedding. I need to get to it. I'm not blaming, I'm not shaming, I'm not making wrong. But then you're making a request and you're communicating effectively. And when you do this, then there's more clear communication. What do you do with a narcissistic personality disorder? Catherine, are you talking about someone else having a narcissistic personality? So from everybody in this world has narcissistic traits, okay? You may not be completely 100% narcissist, but everyone has traits. And the way that people become narcissists, and please take what resonates, throw away what doesn't, okay? This is my experience, this is my research, this is what I know of the subject. People become narcissists because it was their way of protecting themselves at a young age, okay? So if someone has experienced a lot of childhood traumas and pains and suffering at any point, then one of two things happen, okay? Either they grip onto the I have to protect myself, the I, or they grasp onto the we are in this together, and they don't know the balance mode. The opposite of narcissism is an empath, okay, an empath. And both of them are the same in different degrees. They both got to where they're going, where they came from, let me rephrase that. They both became the narcissist, and they both became the empath for the same reason. They just chose many different paths. So when we're dealing for narcissists, the very first thing we need to recognize is that they became a narcissist because they felt as a child there was no other way for them to feel protected other than them protecting themselves, other than them feeling like there was no other outlet and making it about the I, making it 100% about the I without the other person. So when you are dealing with a narcissist, again, this is my perspective. A narcissist needs even more compassion, even more empathy, even more love. And I am a true believer that everybody in this world wants to be better. Everybody wants to grow. Everyone wants to be better. But not everyone has the tools to then be better. When dealing with a narcissist, it's about recognizing and helping them to find the tools to be more empathic, of teaching and showing this is how I am. I'm not going to shame. I'm not going to blame you. I see where you came from. I see that you avoid so solely about yourself because no one else did. But this is how we're going to communicate. This is how we're going to observe the situation. This is how we're going to feel. This is how we're going to express our needs. And helping them to see, opening your kimono, and really helping them to see that, want to know what? I have feelings too. I have feelings too. I have needs too. You help a narcissist by focusing on your I while knowing that and being empathic. People become empathic because they learn that they have to take on everyone else's feelings to protect themselves. Well, people who are narcissists learn that they have to take care of themselves to protect themselves. So it's all about this protection. It's all about how do I protect myself. The narcissist learns the only way to protect myself from the ward, in the storm, from the hurricane, from the tornado, is to focus on I. And the empath takes the other approach of the only way to protect myself is by worrying about everyone else around me, by worrying and making sure that everyone else is okay. But both became who they are for the same reason. No one was protecting them. No one was helping them to find the balance between the I and the we. And so they went to different polarities. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Does that resonate, Catherine? Yes, good. Go no contact or if possible, gray rock and get peer support from others who have been through it. It's not your fault, Catherine. Meredith Mill on YouTube. Inner Intelligence had great stuff on explaining it and what to do. Hope that helps. We'll pray you. Yeah, and I get this because from my perspective, without shaming, blaming, making wrong, this word narcissist actually came up with my family yesterday. Well, and I can see in my family, and this is me opening my kimono to you guys, okay? I'm opening my kimono, I'm getting naked with you guys. I've noticed, from my perspective, I think almost everyone in my family is a narcissist. And I didn't recognize that before. I didn't notice that until the last couple years. And because of that, I may have traits. I may have traits of that, but it's about recognizing those traits, choosing consciously to change those traits, to change those characteristics so that you can be better. Everyone has traits, but it's about seeing that and saying, well, you know what? I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like my family. I don't want the apple to fall far from the tree. I want to be better. I want to grow. I want to evolve. It's about taking that step and recognizing that the truth is everyone is doing, and everyone is doing the best that they can with the tools that they know. Okay, if you are trying to dig a hole in the ground and you don't have anything, you're using your hands to dig because all you have are your hands. If you're trying to dig a thing in the ground and you have a shovel, then you use a shovel. If you are trying to dig a hole in the ground and you have a hole excavator, then you are using an excavator. But whether you are using your hands, whether you're using a shovel, whether you're using an excavator, to dig that hole, everyone is still digging a hole. And the person who has an excavator is going to dig the bigger, faster hole. But it doesn't mean that the person who's using the shovel or the person that's using their hands is any less than the person who uses the excavator. Recognize that. Recognize that everybody is doing the best that they can with the tools that they can and that they can afford to use. Does that make sense? Everybody is doing the best that they can. And we as a collective, everybody, we have this tendency to look, to be the one that has the excavator, okay? And look at the ones who don't have the excavator and who are using their hands to dig and to make judgment on them because they're using their hands instead of the excavator. But they can't afford the excavator to dig the hole. And so we end up judging and blaming and making people feel wrong for using their hands to dig a hole when their hands are the only way they know how to dig. No one taught them to use a shovel. No one taught them, to use an excavator. Or if they do know about that tool, they don't know how to access that tool. So all we can do is show by example of going up to the people with the excavator and doing one of two things. Either saying, hey, do you want to borrow? This is the excavator that I have. Do you want to use my excavator to dig your hole? Or showing them the resource of the excavator so that they now have it in their mind's eye of, oh, I can use an excavator. I don't have that tool yet. I don't have that machinery yet. But I'll try to find it. I'll try to find the money to get the excavator. Does that make sense, everyone? Let me know if that resonates. Catherine. God, I'm constantly dismissed that I wish I wasn't the empath one. And maybe I would be better if I was a narcissist. Oh, Catherine, I feel that. I want to just take a minute to just feel that. Just feel that and recognize that you are doing the best that you can. I recognize the pain that you are feeling. I recognize the suffering that you're experiencing. And I also recognize the pain and the suffering of the person that you experience with narcissism. And I understand that it's hard to feel dismissed. People can't become empaths because I just have to take a breath for a minute. That was a lot of energy. People become empaths because it's the only way they knew to protect themselves, as I said before. We become empaths because no one taught us how to take care of ourselves. People become empaths because everything in their lives is a storm. Everything is a tornado. And you have to become an empath to protect yourself. People become empaths because if you didn't worry about how everybody else was feeling around you, then you would get hurt. It's about being hypersensitive of the world around you to protect yourself from the pain that happened. I know this because it's what I experienced growing up. You never were taught or able to take care of yourself because you had, for survival, to worry about your environment for protection, for peace. How is mommy feeling right now? Is daddy angry? Is my sister gonna fight? It's about, you became an empath because you had to tiptoe around everyone's feelings. You had to learn to be sensitive about the environment around you. Because if you weren't sensitive about that daddy was angry and mommy was crying and sister was stealing, then you would step on a bomb and the bomb would go off in the house and it would cause more disaster. But Catherine and everyone else that's an empath, when are you going to start noticing your needs? When are you going to start noticing your feelings? Because what you're going through right now, and I'm hearing it in your words, and please feel free to disagree at any point, but you are still looking at this narcissist and worrying about how they feel, what they are experiencing, instead of looking at Catherine and asking yourself, what is Catherine feeling? What does Catherine need right now? And when you start to come into your sense of feeling, when you start to come into your sense of needs, then everything will get better. But the narcissist continues to add fuel to the fire because that's all they know how to do, because you're not taking care of your I, you're taking care of the we. And there's a time for the we and there's a time for the I. Yeah. I get in return wounds. Yeah. But you have to patch up your own wounds. And it's hard. And I know it's painful. I know it's painful. So walk away. Walk away and come back. But the truth is, different faces, different places, but same situation until we learn the lesson that we need to learn. And I know this so well. This is why we tend to attract the same people. Because there's no such thing as actual breakups. There's only a transfer of energy. And so even if you walk away from this narcissist, which you could, because you need to focus on your own self-care and your own sense of self-love, and you need to do whatever is the most loving thing for you, you will come back into another situation until you've healed or fixed or learned this lesson. This is why we attract the same partners over and over again. It's because different faces, different places, but same situations until we heal it. So I just want to ask you, Catherine, to reflect on, how is this similar to your childhood? How is this situation that's playing out right now similar to the childhood that you experienced? What did Catherine need as a child? And whatever Catherine needed as a child is what Catherine needs right now. Give the inner child what the inner child needed. Yeah, what did you need as a child? Answer that. Recognizing my intuition is telling me that the first step is worthiness, of knowing that you are worthy, knowing that you are deserving of your needs being met. Or your needs are your needs. And so often in our society, we shame our needs. We shame this need for physical touch. We shame this need for community. We shame this need for exploration, when that is a need. And when our needs are met, then everything else will be met. But society wants to shame that. So what are your needs? How can you take care of you? And then I want to give you the homework of really focusing. Really focusing on, what does Catherine feel? What does Catherine need? And don't worry about being selfish. Be selfish. First, you have to take care of self. You have to take care of self. You can't take the less out of it. Take care of you. And when you take care of you, then you will have enough to give to others. So has this helped? Does anyone have any questions before we go into the meditation? You're welcome. Any questions before we go into the meditation? So thank you guys again for just joining today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your day with me. Thank you for just your love and your joy. I'm so humbly grateful just for all of you guys that continue to join me. If this is your first time joining, again, my name is Rose Giannetti. I'm a meditation and mindfulness teacher, and I am a love and spiritual coach. I coach and I help women to become the best version of themselves. I help women to expand into consciousness and the higher states of awakening, to heal their traumas, to love more. I am a love coach on a mission to teach the world that love is unconditional, but someone's presence in our reality is conditional if it interferes with our own sense of love. So if anyone is interested in coaching, if anyone has been looking for a coach to help you to transcend past those traumas, those fears, the inner child work, the blocks that you have to, becoming the best version of yourself, then set up a strategy call with me. I am putting my link in the description. Someone let me know if you see it. This is my link tree. You will find my website. You will also find you can set up a one-on-one strategy call with me. I have courses, sexual cord cutting, and I also have a women empowerment group for all of you ladies. It is completely free to join. It's on Facebook. It's just a bunch of us ladies getting together, communicating with each other, gathering together, bringing back the sacred feminine, rising the feminine energy back up in us, and allowing us women to just join together. We get together once a month for a goddess circle. I offer a lot of workshops and all of those things. I'm also on YouTube, and I do a lot. So someone let me know if you see what I just posted in the chat, if you see my link tree. Let me know if you see that or not, someone. And I'm here. I'm here if anyone needs anything. Feel free to reach out to me. The best way to get in contact with me is on Instagram, Jenna Rose Giannetti on Instagram. Send me a message there, follow me there, and I will answer all of your questions. And then, if you guys enjoyed this talk and you enjoy my meditation, please feel free to leave a donation for an equal energy exchange, or just showing that my work is valued, so that I can continue to have the energy to continue to give back. The more I receive, the more energy I have to then give back and to serve and to help. Once my cup is full, then I can spill from my cup to give to others. But so often, we try to do it backwards. We try to pour from an empty cup, and then we have nothing to give. And then the people around us are feeling, depleted because we are depleted. And so the cycle continues. So make sure to follow. If you haven't yet, do so. Set up a strategy call with me. And just know that you guys are loved. DM. I had something similar happen last night. It had been a long weekend, and I went to yoga class and overstretched and injured myself for trying to heal. Oh, I'm so sorry. I got irritated at the teacher, thinking they should have guided me differently. And then I needed the other chiro to help me feel better before going home. This all made so much sense. I am an empath and I'm taking on others' energies, then I feel vulnerable. Yeah, and this is why you have to protect yourself, right? And recognizing that that instructor can only do what the instructor knows how to do. And as someone who does yoga daily, I get this. I was actually thinking about this the other day of, I've taken yoga classes where the yoga instructor will walk around the room and they will readjust you if you're in the wrong position, And then I was thinking this last week of how like the yoga instructor doesn't walk around and doesn't adjust and doesn't, they will say this is the modification. So I really, really get that. And I appreciate those yoga instructors who will walk around and like readjust you so you're in the right position. But recognizing that only you know what feels good in your body. And I think that the reason, you overstretched, you stretched yourself in a way that was too much for you. And this is where you have to listen to your body. You have to trust yourself instead of trusting someone else. And as a society, we do this. We're listening to others teaching us, and they're teaching us to stretch in this way or move in this way or say this instead of checking in with ourselves, checking with our body, checking in with our emotions, and saying, well, you know what? This stretch is a little bit too much. Instead of going into a full plank, I'm going to just go into a plank on my feet, right? I'm just going to lay in Vasasana. Oh my God, I can't say it. Vipassana. I'm going to lay on my back the whole time. Or I'm going to be in child pose the whole time. Listening to our body. And this is, the suffering that happens as a society of, we're so disconnected from our body that it ends up hurting us. And this is why there's so much rape going on, right? Because as a child, if we didn't want to hug someone, our parents were telling us, hug that person, hug that person. So we didn't learn boundaries. We didn't learn that, you know what, this doesn't feel good. I don't want to hug this person right now. Then we go off to school and we feel the need to walk around the classroom, and the teacher is telling us to sit down, sit down, sit down, don't walk. Well, maybe your body needs to walk. Maybe your body needs to stand, but you're listening to the teacher telling you that your body needs to sit. That teacher is not in your body. That teacher is not in your body. That teacher doesn't know what your body needs, right? And so the cycle continues, okay? Then you're a teenager and you have sex hormones going all over the place, right? And no one's giving you the sex talk, right? Because if you guys grew up anything like me, sex was taboo and sex was supposed to, be till marriage. And so you have these sex hormones flying all over the place, right? And you just want love, right? And so you end up in a situation where you want love and then someone's touching your body and you don't know that it doesn't feel good that someone's touching your body because it feels good because you're a sexual being that someone's touching your body, right? But that person touching your body doesn't feel good. And then it gets you into a situation where now you've been raped. Now you've been hurt. Now you've been abused, right? And so now it's like they are the bad guy because they just raped you. But we didn't know our body because society, because our parents, because of schooling, because of the government, because of the teaching, didn't tell us to listen to our body. It didn't. No one taught us how to tune into our body, to tune in what feels good to our body. So now you're in a yoga class and you're listening to the teacher on how to stretch, and now you stretch too far because we didn't listen to our body. So it goes back to, circles around to everything we were talking about today of step one, observe. Observe the situation. Observe the teacher, all right? Step two, how do I feel? How do I feel about this situation? Three, what's my need? What does my body feel like? What does my body actually need in this yoga class? And then four is requesting, right? Or taking action, right? Of then doing based off of your observation, your feeling, and your need. So that's my tangent. I'm going to read your comments now. Haven't quite figured out how to protect myself yet. Yeah, and that's why we need to do this. She did adjust and leaned into it, but I also have an injury in my hip. I see that. I know. I send you healing. Let me just send you some healing if that's okay. Just receive the light, receive the healing, receive the love. I was concerned about how it would look as I represent the center also. Then I realized what was happening. The injury I had was actually from a rape. Wow. Yeah. It's all connected. It's all connected. I feel like my flexibility was robbed, and I just want to recover and feel like my young, vibrant self. Yeah. So what do you need to do that? What do you need to take your flexibility back? Maybe it's not a time for you to be still. Maybe it's a time for you to be flexible. You said that I feel my flexibility was robbed, right? But no one can take your flexibility away from you. So say, I am flexible. I am recovered. I am my vibrant self. Also, I often overflow physically because I strive for excellence. Because love in my childhood was transactional based upon my performance. You overdo. Yeah, absolutely, Christine. So many of us do this, but want to know what? What is excellent? Is it excellent based off of other people's words? Or is it excellent because you are listening to your body? The most excellent thing you can do, the best way you can strive for excellence is by what feels good in your body, what feels good in your emotions. When are we going to stop comparing ourselves to others and do what feels good for us? Beautiful, guys. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys. So I'm going to lead us in meditation. Did you guys see my link tree in the chat? Actually, my spine got fused, so I can just do what I can, but haven't figured out my limits. I'll figure out your limits. Hi, guys. Do you see this link? Yes or no? Yes. Beautiful. All right, guys. All right, so I'm going to lead us in meditation. And then... Oh, I'm tired, guys. My body wants a nap. Alright, guys, so here we go. I'm going to record this meditation. So don't leave at the end. Alright, here we go. Closing down your eyes. Start to take a deep breath in through your nose. Holding the breath at the top. And breathing out. Feeling comfortable wherever you are at. Taking a deep breath in. Holding the breath at the top. And breathing out. Resting in this moment. Breathing in. Holding the breath. And breathing out. Breathing in. Holding the breath. And breathing out. Feel your body completely relaxing. Feel yourself becoming more and more at peace. And start to call on any guides, angels, ancestors, extraterrestrials, animal totem guides. Whoever feels right for you for this meditation, and setting your intention for this meditation to stay calm, to stay grounded in the midst of the storm, staying in the eye of the storm, staying calm, grounded, and centered. Breathing into this and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in again and breathing out. And allow your whole body to just fill with light. Grounding yourself into the ground. And just imagine at the bottom of your feet, beautiful roots expanding down from your feet, down into the ground, into the soil, the dirt, all the way to the core of Mama Gaia, the earth, and breathing these roots into you and your humanness. Breathing in and breathing out. In the midst of the storm, in the midst of a tornado, in the midst of a hurricane, feel yourself completely rooted and grounded into the earth, grounded into the I am. And feeling the light from the ethos shining down on you, infusing you with light, infusing you with love. Feel the ray of light like the warmth of the sunshine radiating over your whole entire being. Feeling yourself completely lit up from the divine, completely sandwiched between the earth, the roots and the grounding of planet Earth, and completely supported or warmed by the divine, the spirit. And breathe in the sandwich of love and light, and breathe it out. And bring your awareness to your heart. Bring all of your consciousness right to your heart. Opening and expanding your heart. The balance point of your body. And allowing your heart to be your center of you. Allowing your heart to be the eye of the storm, the calm from the hurricane, the calm from the tornado, allowing the beating in your chest to bring rise to light, feeling into your heart and feeling the flicker of a light radiating over your heart, filling up your heart with light, the light that will guide the lost home, the light that will help those to find the way, the light that will help you to see into the darkness. Feel this light becoming one with yourself, and allow this light in your heart to radiate your whole being, to radiate your whole sense of self. And breathe in and breathe out. Allow the distractions to be around you without taking you out of your center. Allow yourself to stay centered, calm, and balanced. When distractions around you are happening, when anger and frustration surround you, stay at the center. Stay in the heart. As pain and suffering arises on the surface, breathe into your center, finding home and connection and calmness around you. Breathing love and light back into you. Staying centered and allowing the storms around you to calm. Allowing the natural elements to be as they are without changing it. Allow the hurricane to be the hurricane. Allow the tornado to be the tornado. Allow the fire to be the fire. Allow the sun to be the sun. Step out of changing the nature and the natural frequencies of those around you, and find centeredness into the nature that you are, into the natural frequency that you are. Stay centered in the I, the I am presence, the I of the storm. Come back to the I. Not focusing on the rain, the fire, but the I. Allow the waves renew you and revive you. Allow the winds of the sky to move you. Allow the sun to warm you. Allow the forces of the nature to be one with the nature that you are. And breathing in and breathing out. And starting to come back to yourself. Coming back to this room. Breathing in and breathing out. Starting to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Breathing in and breathing out. Taking as long as you need. And then opening up your eyes whenever you are ready. Welcome back. Welcome back. Remember that when a storm is rising around you, the way you stay at the eye of the storm in calmness and peace and centeredness is by focusing on the eye. You can't change the storm. You can't change what's going on around you. But what you can change is the eye. Focus on you. Focus on the eye. How you are moving and reacting to the storm. How your own frequency and vibration is affecting the storm. The way you stay at the eye of the storm is by staying in the eye. Thank you everyone for joining today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. If you enjoyed this meditation, again, feel free to leave a donation of gratitude. Make sure to follow me for all of my lives and all of my content. Feel free to book a one-on-one coaching session with me. I'm here to assist you into greater healing, greater awakening, greater love and mindfulness. Thank you everyone again. And let's just close out today by closing down the circle and closing your eyes one last time. Breathing in and out. And imagine yourself completely gathered with all 79 of us that are here. See us all holding hands. And just thanking everyone for joining today. Joining in the love. Joining in the community. Joining in on the peace. And breathing in the light. And breathing out the light. Thank you everyone for bringing you closer to home. Closer to peace. And just placing your hands in front of your heart. And bowing down with me. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I love you. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. And I hope that everyone has a beautiful day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.